Friends, how's everyone doing today? Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. I'm starting a new project. So this is Sherry, and this is a vintage book that I showed you that I wanted to do next, to turn this use this cover as a journal cover. And I kind of want to experiment. I have two different ideas about how to do it. So we're going to experiment and see. First, we're going to jump right in. I'm not even going to show you any pages or anything yet. I'm just going to jump right in working on the cover. And first experiment is going to be to see if I can leave this cover on. I mean this spine on, not cover. We're going to use the cover, front and back, but I want to see if I can leave the spine on. I don't know if it will. I mean, right now it feels like it's all attached here. It is kind of, I think it's pretty much attached in here too. The actual book block is starting to separate, but I want it separated. I want to take it out. So I'm not going to use my X-Acto knife. I'm going to use my scissors and see if I can just cut right here. There's this like mesh here that is part of the spine holding the book block in. I'm going to just see if I can cut that mesh so that I can separate the book block from the cover but not dig into the spine. Okay, so and then we're going to measure the spine and see if I want to know. I think it's an inch, or it could be an inch and a half, which is my favorite size for a spine. So I can see as I cut though that it is a little weaker, but I have planned for reinforcing it too if I can keep the spine on here. I would eventually sew the signatures through the spine, so that's the plan. Just if you were wondering, like, how am I going to do it? I'm not going to do a, what do you call it, oh shoot, I can't even think of it, where you put the spine in without sewing it through. You kind of glue the book block in. I'm not going to do that. I like the sewn in. I just feel, to me, I just feel better about it. I just feel better, like they're really attached better. And they probably aren't, but I don't think I could handle doing the other way, if you know what I mean. So, okay, let's see. So there it is. I don't know if I can show you, but yeah, it actually looks pretty good. It looks like we have a layer of just kind of like, well, there's this, which is just paper. This craft color right here is not cardboard, it's just paper. And then this, which is a fabric, kind of a fabric, but it doesn't feel all that thick either, but it is holding this together. And there's a little kind of hole right here, and there's a little tiny hole right there. It is, I would say, weakly. It's completely attached, but not in a sturdy way. Let's put it like that. So here's what it looks like right now. And so here it is flat out, the spine, instead of like how it was, kind of a little curve on the edges. Let's measure. So it is an inch and a half. It's an inch and a half. Interesting, right? So what I'm thinking is I can probably just reinforce the inside and I would be good. You know what I mean? Because I'm going to put cardboard and tape, and that would completely reinforce this. And then I'm going to put fabric. Nothing over the outside. All the reinforcement would be on the inside, so you completely have this really super old. This is over 100 years old, if you remember. And I did look up the value. I talked about looking up the value, and it really isn't. It is not a valuable book. In fact, there's a. I'm gonna say a ton, but not a ton. You know what I mean? There's a lot of these books on eBay. This one right here. It's called the International Education Series. Yeah, there's a bunch of these. Let me straighten up my camera a little bit. I feel like you're a little crooked. I do try to get the lines straight in the video when I do a video, but not always straight, am I? All right, there we go. We're pretty straight. All right, let's work on the inside. Oh, I was going to show you real quick if I can the title page. I imagine myself not using any of these pages. I do love the end pages here, the blue. I could use those, but not the rest. I can see there's a blue one here and a blue one here, and they're in good shape. There's a little something right there, which I have no idea what that is. Is that a price? Oh, it's $1.25, and that might be some initials. I'm not sure. I think this is $1.25, but I'm not even sure about that. Or maybe it's 125. Can you imagine somebody? Because these were like 8, 9, 12 for a pristine, like really good one in really good shape. I wouldn't call this in really good shape. It's in okay shape for being over 100 years old. It's in good shape for that. But it looked like there were some in better shape that were like 13, 15, maybe even 25 or 20, $19 like that. But the ones that look kind of more like mine were, I would say 13, 15, 12, $12, $13. So not a valuable book by any means. And so, yeah, I was going to look at the year here real quick so we can get started. I found it one of the last few times I showed you this journal, and I was very surprised. Here it is, $18.99. $18.99. I couldn't even believe it. I probably had seen it before, but I forgot, forgot how old it was. But anyway, so very cool, right? So let's put some cardboard here. I have my Fabri-Tac. I actually have my art glitter glue here too. I picked out some fabric. I picked out some paper to go on the inside, so I think I'm ready to go and get something done here. So first of all, I can't get it like right up next to the book cover, or else it won't fold, but I'm going to try to get it a little bit into this part where it's just fabric, just to sturdy that up. Okay, so, and then the spine will be straight instead of a curve like it was. It'll be straightened up, like flat. So we have a bigger, kind of like we're almost like making a bigger spine, but using the same spine. So that, yeah, you can do that with any book really, if you want to keep the spine on and then flatten it out and see how wide you can make it. Okay, so I'm going to go, this was 1.5 inches. I'm going to cut it just one notch. If I need to trim it some more, I can. Let's see, I got my paper cutter right there. I can usually cut cardboard pretty good with my paper cutter and straight and things like that. So I'm going to cut there. So that'll be my width, unless I need to make it thinner, and then I need to measure the length, which will be right up to the top edge here, but I don't want it to show, and then right down to the bottom edge, about right there. Okay, there we go. So yeah, this is going to be, part of my school journal series, but it's going to be not necessarily full of school stuff, It's going to be more vintagey. So it's a school book, a school-related educational type book, but it's going to be vintage style, eclectic vintage style, let's call it that. All right, let's cut this. This is a pretty strong piece of cardboard too. It's not a thin piece of cardboard, and it's not like too thick where I can't sew through it, but it's pretty strong, I would say, pretty strong. So that's good. Okay, and here's my other notch. We're going to cut the length, and we'll see how we did. All right, that is not necessary to keep, so we'll get rid of that. And so, okay. Yeah, it's not as wide as I was thinking it would be, but I think it's probably actually perfect. You know what I mean? I probably would have had to cut another sliver off because this would have been hard to fold if I made it wider. So yeah, it's fine. It's fine. And it's almost 1.5 inches, like I said, but it will be 1.5 inches spine by the time we get done with it. So now we're going to attach. Let's put some glue. I'm going to use Fabri-Tac here, and let me see if I can get anything out of this one real quick. If I don't, I won't waste time on it, but if I can. I'm trying to use up this last bit of glue in this Fabri-Tac bottle. Oh, it's coming right out. Very good. And so I want to get this nice and glued down. Lots of glue here. I'm just going to make this into a pretty vintage school-related journal. I picture lots of coffee dyed papers in here. I have just about every type of coffee dyed paper you can think of. So, and I love to use them, including scrapbook paper. So I can have color from the scrapbook paper and other papers. I even have Astro Bright's coffee dyed paper. So we can have all the color we want. All right, so that's glued down. Now let's also put tape here. I would do it whether I was making a new spine or not. I would put tape in here also. So that's going to reinforce this part. So I'm going to use 2 pieces of tape here. I don't want it, well, I'm going to completely cover this part up. This is fine, the blue, but I just want to make it prettier, you know. I mean, I could leave the blue, the original paper, but I want to make it prettier, so that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so I'm just going to put this over here, over this part that I said, you know, where the spine connects, the original spine connects to the cover. And we're going to strengthen that now with this tape, this masking tape. You know, this is not thin tape. This is not thin tape, so it's good for this purpose. You could even put some glue under here. There is a little bit of glue right in the crevice. I can see it. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little bit of glue there. But we're going to be covering this with glue, more glue for the fabric. I'll probably put the next step will be putting some paper on the inside of the cover. And I actually have also some acetate flowers to put on the outside. So we're going to do that too. We're going to get all that done during this video. See what it looks like. And then the next video will be getting out some coffee dyed papers and cutting them to fit into signatures. So here's what it looks like so far. See how it's flat now? Yeah, that looks good. And it's so cute. It's such a cute little size too. It's not tiny, but it's not, you know, it's small at the same time. So let's not talk about it. Let's just do it. Okay, so what I picked out for the inside is some pretty, this is scrapbook paper, and it's a map. It's a map. So it's paper, it's not cardstock. I already cut, there was a white line here that I cut off somewhere. I think the branding, well, I still need to cut off a little dotted line there, but I don't know if I'm going to use that. So maybe I'll just do it like this. I'll put this corner over here and this corner over here. That could work, and I'm going to leave a little blue border around. So yeah, let's see, I think I can cut, let me make a mark. Let me make a mark with a pencil. Got a pencil in here, my little jar that I keep beside me. And in case, because I don't want to turn it over, I want to make sure of this corner going right here. So I'm going to make a little mark. This is right here where I need it to be. This is right where I need it to be. And this, oh, this is a very thin border up here. So I'm going to make a very, if I need to cut off more, I can, but it's a very thin blue border up here. Can you see that? It's, oh, it is down here too, but yeah, it's not very big, but we're gonna, okay. Now can I see my mark? Yes, I can, right there. And it should be the same all the way across, so actually we can do just one cut all the way across. I'm going to try to cut right on that mark so that I actually cut the mark off and I don't have to worry about it being there. But we'll see how that works out. Yep, you can't even see it. Okay, I think that's good. Now we got a nice scrap there. Okay, so how'd we do? I think we did good. I think it's fine. Okay, so now the width, which I'm going to just put it right up to the spine, like not right up to it, but you know what I mean, pretty close. So about, let me use my pencil again. So it'll be right there. I got my air blown if you hear the air. I was going to try to leave it off, but little hot, little hot. Little hot, it's still summer. Thank goodness, right? Summer's not gone yet. Okay, right there. Okay, and then let's go ahead and measure the other side. I've got myself a cold Dr. Pepper Zero here. Also to help keep me cool. And I changed into, from my work clothes into my home clothes. I heard someone on TV say, talking to a little kid, you remember how your mom used to call your clothes when you came home from school, you put on your play clothes. That's so cute. You have to keep that alive, right? The play clothes thing. I don't know if I ever said that to my kids when they came home from school, because they're boys and kind of had, probably just kept their clothes on. They didn't change their clothes when they got home, probably. But yeah, put your play clothes on. Go outside. You know what it is? It's because you don't go outside. Well, they did go outside and play, especially my younger one. We lived on this property where we live now, and when he was in middle school, and he did change his clothes because he went out and, you know, I don't know what he did out in the woods, you know, whatever boys do in the woods, built forts and things, and climbed on trees. All right, so yeah, let's glue this down. This is where I got my art glitter glue out, because of this being papery instead of, which you could use your Fabri-Tac too. I just wanted to use my and I've been, you know, I have the art glitter glue, so I want to use it. I don't want it to just, you know, get old and dry up or something. So let me see. Did I just have this? I had it turned upside down, but I think I just tipped it up. So let me see if I can get it going again. I have this one that I need to use up. Like there's like an inch in here that I need to use up. And then I have this one, which is new. And I think this one I can't get the lid off of. I was going to take the lid off of here and put it on here and just use this one, because this one opens no problem. It's almost full. But I can't get the lid off of here. I even used vice grips last night trying to get the lid off of here. But I didn't have a gentleman here to help me. No man in the house last night, so the men were out of town. So as soon as I get someone here that can help me get this lid off, oh, there we go. I'm going to get the lid off of here and put it over there, and then pour the balance of this in there. It's a whole thing. You know how it is with glue. Maybe I'll use it up today. Who knows? Yeah, because, yeah, I wanted to use it and not waste it, you know, just sitting around. I don't think it would really dry up, but, you know, I have it, so I should use it. All right, I'm going to spread this out a little bit here. It's a little, but you got to do this quick. I really truly think that the art glitter glue dries even faster than Fabri-Tac, and Fabri-Tac dries super fast, but I think that art glitter glue dries just a little bit faster, like so fast, it's crazy. And I have this air blowing on me here too, so it's going to even dry. I have a ceiling fan in here and my AC on. Like once it cools off, I'll probably turn my AC off, but I would like it to be a little bit cooler in here. Alright, so that looks good. See, it almost looks like it was always there, doesn't it? That's why I picked this blue. And the map looks like something they would put in an old 100-year book to me. Look like it, you know? And it does look like kind of vintagey, especially after I put it down here for some reason. Doesn't it look vintagey after I glued it down? I don't know what it is. It seemed to change into magically into vintage paper just now. So let's get this one glued down. And it looks, I think it looks better than that blue. You know what I mean? It really does add something nice here to the inside of the covers. So, yeah, I think this is, United States too. It's here I see Ellis Island, so parts of New York maybe. Here it says New Jersey or Jersey City right there. So interesting, I thought. All right, so this is giving me a lot of air. Maybe it's actually almost done, or I mean, I might leave it upside down. It's just that I just have a pin in, and if I leave it upside down, it might actually leak because I don't have the other metal little tip on here. This is how I've been using it. When I was using it a lot, I was using it like this. I just found it more and more difficult to just use it, the pin. It was so small, and that glue was drying up in there, and just found it more and more difficult just to use that metal tip. So I had taken that off, using that black part, that black tip, and that works just fine, as you can see. And so this says Williamsburg on it. Interesting. Okay, let's get this glue down before it dries, or put down before the glue dries. Let me get it in the right spot there. Alright, I think that looks good. So, yeah. So it's good that that was blue too behind here, because it matched this, that kind of little border from the cover that wraps around. So there, like, there's a little bit showing here and here, but you can't tell because it's all blue, you know. So I think that looks good. Now, the fabric. Okay, so you see the color here. I'm going to describe it as orange because it's not red. If you're thinking it's red, you're probably not. You're probably seeing the true colors. This is a gold color, and then this is this is embossed here, although you can't see it, and this is going to be covered up, but we're going to finish this inside first. So the fabric I have is this. So yeah, lots of color, not just neutrals here, but look how pretty. Now this is going on the inside, but if I had to have, you know, if I would have built a new spine from the outside too, I would have put this here. But I think this will be really pretty inside. You open up, and it matches that orange. It's not the same color, but I think it looks really beautiful with it. And it is kind of a, you know, not a totally modern looking. It's almost upholstery, kind of. It's a thick fabric, almost upholstery, but not. I don't think it actually is upholstery. Maybe it's more, would be more. It could be used to cover a chair, you know, reupholster a chair. It's that thick. Or it could be used, maybe, I don't know what somebody would have used it for, maybe curtains or something. I have no idea. But I do have my pinking shears here. I don't think I can rip this. Like, I think I want to cut it this way. And that's probably against the grain. I think the grain is pretty much going this way. So I'm going to go ahead and see what my width is. And I do have a hard time cutting a straight line. I might pause and do this so you don't have to watch me cut, but this that's what I'll do. But I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to show you, come back and show you. So I'm going to cut a pinked edge here, hopefully in a straight line, and then measure it to go just, you know, from here to here, and we'll be good to go. So I'm going to pause, and that'll save us time on the video too, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've cut the piece of fabric that I need for the inside here, and we're going to glue that down. And so let's see if I have any more, see if I can get any more glue out of this one. So I do have a couple of school, like the cinch journals in my shop, and the bigger journal is there too, in case you didn't see those flip throughs. Those two are there. There's one that's reserved, the ABC little golden book is reserved, but there's blueberry in there in that bigger one, and I don't know if there's any more. I don't remember. There may be, but there's other journals in there too that I've been making just to, you know, kind of stock up and have some available. So it's okay. Whenever somebody needs one, they can just stop by and pick one up, right? Let's see which way we want to do this. It doesn't matter either way. Like it's not going to show that much either because there's going to be signatures here. I'm just going to put it down like this. Oops, I pulled it up a little bit. I pinked all the way around, top, bottom, sides. So it shouldn't fray. I mean, if it's going to fray, it'll fray a little bit, but it probably won't fray too much or at all. All right, let's poke do our little crevices here and get this kind of like really pushed down and burnished down. And then we'll get our edges here. The edges I always do last just to make sure I don't put too much glue here, you know, in this space. Just get what I need here. Hopefully. Hopefully. That's the plan. All right, let's do then push this down. Over 100 years old. I've done journals before. Not too many, but a couple or a few out of covers of books that were over 100 years old. So, yeah, it is nice to, you know, do something with them, really. And for them to have a use. And I don't know if I finished my sentence, but I'm going to send that book block along with this journal, so you'll be able to have those pages. Whoever gets it anyway will be able to have those pages to do whatever they want with. Nope, I did not get enough glue under there. Maybe none came out. Let's see, are we about done with this one? No, I think it's coming out now. You know, like I don't want to get too much, so I'm not squeezing too hard. It probably looks like I'm squeezing hard, but I'm not. I'm just trying just to get a little glue in there, enough to glue this down and not to ooze all over, you know, make a mess or whatever. It is very hard to do that. I find it very hard to do the edges. Like, I find it a little challenging to get the right amount of glue in there because it's like, you know, I want it to be glued down, but, you know, it's a fine line. It's a fine line. It really is an actual fine line here. So, just cleaning up that edge. Okay, I think that is all solid now. And this is solid. All right, we're ready to do the front, but this is upside down right now, so let me turn it around so you can see. I do have a little bit sticking up right now. I could cut that off, but I'm going to leave it for right now because I do like that sometimes. But in the end, I might cut that off. We'll see what I feel like in the end. And so, yeah, just only a little bit of glue right there. I can tidy this up later if I need to, but I would like to see it done here. There we go. Okay. And so I'm going to leave it flat. I'm not going to bend it again so this can dry. So I'm just going to turn it over like this. And I have a few different, like, bigger floral ephemera pieces. I tried them all out. And the problem was I'm going with the original ones, or one and maybe maybe two. I have these two. The other ones I have are all the wrong color. With this orange here, I need something like this or something like they're all kind of pinkish or red, and that just does not go with this orangey color. So, but this can go right here, and you can still see the orange and education here, and then we'll also be covering up this whatever this is damage. So I think that's pretty perfect. And then I have this, which I was thinking about putting on the front, but did you see that? I just put it on the back, and look how cute that is. Just right in the middle of the back, or, I mean, just a little nod to the front. So it kind of like coordinates a neutral type flower in the back and on the front. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I think it looks good right in the middle, like, not anywhere else, right in the middle. And I'm going to put this right where I need it to be to cover up that spot. And then whatever's sticking out over the edge, we'll cut that off. So I got both of these in Happy Mail. Thank you very much to the person who sent these to me. They're so perfect, and I've been waiting ever since I got them. Pretty much, oh, look how nice that peeled off so quick. I was a little worried because I have trouble with these sometimes, but it peeled off just perfectly. And these are really sticky, so I'm not going to even. I mean, I wouldn't put glue on here anyway on an acetate where you can see through it. So yeah, I'm just going to put it right over. Being that these are white, it really covers up this kind of whitish whatever this is on here. So I'm going to put that white right over that whole thing and cover that up just like that. You'll never know. I don't think you'll ever know it was even there. And then just flatten that out nice. Kind of like burnish it down. It's not a rub on, but I'm just going to rub on it to make sure it's all down, and I believe it is. So let's pick that up, and my glue from this is getting onto here, and I don't want that on my book, so let's move it now and get some fresh pieces that don't have wet glue on them. Here we go. I keep a stack right here now to switch out when I need to. I don't want to lose that other flower. See, these are being well used before I throw them out. Okay, so there we go. And just make sure everything's upright when you're doing this. If you're doing something like this, make sure this is upright, and then you're doing these upright. Otherwise, if you were to put these upside down, what I would do is just put another piece over it, glue over it. Just FYI, don't panic. So let's do the little leaf first, and then we'll do the flowers, because I'm kind of more worried about getting that perfect than this one right here, because it's just one little leaf. So let's just do this one. We'll see how it looks, right? We'll see how we do here, and then we'll know about the flowers, how that might go. Okay, we got the leaf. Let's see how it looks. It looks good. Yeah, no problem. I will get that leaf off my finger now. Let me get it into the trash and just kind of see how this is down here, how it looks. I think that's all good. I cut it right on the edge, so it's fine. It's not like, if I were worried about it, I'd put a little, what you could do is just put a little glue right here on the bottom of this cover, if I were worried about it, or if somebody that got this was worried about it. And so now I'm going to cut here, and I can cut, I feel like I can get a better angle, I think. Well, yeah, I feel like I can get a better angle and sharper cut by turning it around. So that's why I'm turning it around like this. And let me get that off of there and just run the scissors along there one more time. Make sure I got it all right even with the cover. Let's see, where is it? Right here. I feel like there's a little bit more that could be cut off there if I can get it. I don't want to cut the cover though, or fabric off the cover or anything. The original like fabric or whatever's covering this cover. Alright, I'm going to leave it like that before I mess it up. We're good there. And good here. I think I might put a little glue on there though. Needed a tissue there. Yeah, I might put a little bit of glue along here. I mean, that would protect the book anyway, but I mean, it's even with the book, so I don't have to, but I would like to cut right here. Let me turn it this way. Let me just see if I can get one more cut there. Yeah, I don't think I can see any more there. Okay, but I would like to put a little, what works good with this is the Fabri-Tac. I mean, not the Fabri-Tac, the art glitter glue, because it dries clear and you don't really even know, like you wouldn't even know it was there. So Yeah, just right there, right on this edge, right here. What happens if I just push that down? Okay, okay, hold on. I want to do this the best way possible, so I'm going to just kind of burnish this edge down with I'm using my fingernail. You can use your bone folder or whatever, but I like to be able to feel it, you know? Okay, now let me see what it's like. No, it's not coming up anymore. Okay, see, it was coming up right there, but now it's not. But I'm still going to put a little bit of, I've fixed book covers with this before, this art glitter glue, like the corners, right there. I'll show you that in a second. We'll do the corners, but just like that. That's all you need. Just like that. That's all you need. And just let it dry now. And don't pick at it. And don't cut more off like I'm doing right now. No, there's a little piece there that was probably meant to come off and it didn't come all the way off. Okay. There. Now we're going to let that dry. And then right here, the corner is a little worn. I didn't even notice it because I like the worn corners like this. They're not too bad, so you know I don't even think about it because I like it. I don't even think like, oh, that needs something. No, I don't even think about it. I don't even notice it because I like it. For some reason I like it, and I just don't even. It doesn't dawn on me that there's anything wrong with it because I like it so much. I guess it just adds to the old charm of the book. Okay, so I just put. There's layers in there, so I just put a little. The glue kinds, and if you do what I just did, the glue kind of gets in between the layers, and then you squish them together like that, and it kind of, fixes the corners. It fixes the actual, puts them back together, you know what I mean? So it's not as frayed as it was. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of glue down here. Let me burnish this edge too. One more time with my fingernail. And see, there's almost like a divot in the actual cover right here. So it's like the sticker, this acetate sticker, pretty much doesn't have anything to stick to right there. So that's the only reason I'm having a problem right here. So I'm putting that little bit of glue there. Again, rub it down there, and then we'll go ahead and just kind of smash this sticker into that glue, and that should take care of that whole area. We'll let it dry, and let's see what it looks like. Look at that. Oh my goodness. I don't know about you, but I love it because you can't even see that spot anymore, and it looks really pretty. Okay, and I need to find my pin. I'll find it in a minute. I can't put my bottle upside down though until I find it, so it would be nice to find it real quick here, but oh, here it is. Huh. Yay. And now I can put it back upside down again over there in case we need it again. And I just need to get a little bit of glue off my fingers here, and then we're going to do the back. And I hope I didn't lose my other flower at this point. I said I didn't want to lose it, didn't I? But did I lose it? I don't know. I think I might have. Where is it? Alright, it's not in here. Not back there. Not there. I put it right here. Oh, here it is. It became part of my table. It blended in, so like it's see-through. But I finally saw the flower there. I need to get this. I got a really thick layer of glue here on my finger since I spread that out, and also did the edge of the cover. Oof. Okay. Yep, that's all nice and flat. So that's what that looks like. Got our original spine, nice and sturdy. Now I'm bending it, as you can see. It's all nice and dry in here. And let's do the back. Alright, so this is just going to go like that. Just a pretty decoration on the back. And yeah, that's the front of it. These two pieces came together in a Happy Mail. So perfect. And I have the other ones here that also came from the same person. And I don't have them paired off with the journal, but I have them here so that when I do come across a journal where I want a bigger acetate flower, or there's one that's actual like ephemera or from a card or something, very beautiful. Okay, so I'm just going to just lay this here almost like someone just laid a flower here on the book. Let me get my, I don't want to damage anything. That's why I'm using my fingers. Actually, let me do this. I'm afraid to use my bone folder. I don't want to, I just don't want to, I'm afraid I'm going to damage something. So I'd rather almost use my fingers or my fingernail, type of thing. Get it all kind of burnished down. I don't want to use my scissors or even, I guess the side of my scissors would be okay. Because it's a flatter thing, but the bone folder has that sharp edge on the side, and if I'm not careful, I feel like I could damage something. And this is a 100-year-old book. I want it to be in its present condition. I don't want to add any wear and tear to it. So there we go. We have a good start, and let me know what you think, and stay tuned for the next step. And I will reserve it. It's open to be reserved if you would like to reserve it for when it's done, and it won't be too long for when it's done. So I plan on working on this weekend, and it's going to be lightly decorated in 2 signatures, like my usual, So stay tuned. I can't wait to get into my coffee dyed paper. I haven't used it in a while, so that's going to be fun. And I will see you all in my next video. Have a great day.